Let me tell y'all a story about this girl named Tallahassee. She pulls up to a motel. It's by the beach but seedy. Checks in. The front desk was like, "Have a good evening," but didn't mean it. Catching spooky vibes, she kinda ran to her room and collapsed on the bed because her life had fallen apart. We've been there. Anyway, she knocks out after a few minutes and wakes up like an hour later and goes outside. Finding a cute convenience store, she goes in, but remembers she doesn't have any real money. Just like a handful of gold coins. After getting some snacks and a water, she went to pay, but on her way there, she saw a sign. $1 billion lottery. I guess they took some of the coins because she ended up with a lotto ticket. So she goes back to the motel and waits for the numbers to show up. And they all hit. She is like losing it. And like literally too, because she was on the toilet for a while. Anyway, so she looks to see how to claim it, but remembers she has no money to get there. And that's when she, get this, hitchhiked. Like, who does that? She held up a sign with Tallahassee on it, and cars were just driving by, pulling up. She was waving them off. How did she not get hurt? Anyway, finally, a truck, pulls up, and she talks to the driver, then got in. It's really awkward and quiet for a while until the driver was like, "I'm Sunshine. Why you going to Tallahassee?" She's like, "I have friends there." Then he goes, "Friends, huh? That's why you hitchhiking." So after like 30 minutes, Sunshine pulls into a truck stop, and this was like full-service showers and massage. I'll let you infer. She asks, why are we stopping? What is this here? He's like, "Don't worry, you're going to Tallahassee. I gotta stop for a bit," and parks the truck. She's like, "I don't want to go in there," but he's already out. And he grabs this weapon thing, a stick with knives, I don't know, and an envelope. Then says, "It ain't safe out here. Some of us are the unsavory types." Like, what? You don't say that. So now she's walking into this place, and they get to this weird bar, and the bartender keeps giving her these looks like she's not supposed to be there, and she's like, "Yeah, I know." Sunshine says, "This is Tallahassee, we won't be long," and gives the bartender the envelope. The bartender is like, "You're late," and turns, bangs a glass with a knife, and is like, "Attention. Welcome to the Truck Stop Royale." The bluegrass and the sunshine combined haul contracts on the line. Tallahassee felt sick again. The people made a ring. Off goes Sunshine into the middle, and she realizes what she walked into. Then the challenger walks in. Another oh no moment. She recognizes Bluegrass. A mic battle happened. Bluegrass said, "Tonight you'll pay for Panama City." And Sunshine said, "Sunshine's gonna turn your bluegrass red." Then they got crazy. At one point, Sunshine gets knocked down and his keys fly out. Tallahassee took the moment and hustled for the keys, got them, and ran out. Some rat-faced guy saw it happen. Anyway, Tallahassee runs out of the place, gets in the truck, and hauls out. Then she got intrusive thoughts and had to check for the ticket, which she had. Apparently, after Sunshine got laid out, Bluegrass walked up to the bartender and was like, "Gimme the keys, Guy Gold. Where's the hall?" And Mr. Rat came by and whisper snitched. Then Bluegrass was like, "That's so." Where was they headed? And all Guy Gold remembered was Tallahassee. Well, that was enough to light a fire. Bluegrass took a moment to remember Panama City. Meanwhile, on the side of the highway, Sunshine's ride caught a flat. So she walked the highway again, until she got to a gas station. She sat on the curb and starts saying, "I'm so far from Tallahassee." Then, this retro car pulls up bumping some retro music. And this guy, 8 out of 10, gets out. He checks her out but saw she was crying. "Excuse me, are you okay?" he asked. "I have to get to Tallahassee." She was so defeated. And here is Prince Charming, like, "I'm on my way there," fueling up before the drive. "Do you want something?" Tallahassee thinks about it. Orlando comes out and hands her a coffee, pizza, and donut. "I'm Orlando." Tallahassee finally smiles for the first time in forever, and they listened to music and talked and laughed. It was perfect. Turns out Orlando was a butcher that turned vegetarian that day, and Tallahassee got to talk to someone about what happened that night and how she was on the run. She told him she remembered Bluegrass and daydreamed about grabbing the keys in the Royale. Bluegrass had a jealous streak, so the stalker finds the truck abandoned on the side of the highway and searches it like a wild animal, sniffing it and ick. And this poor clerk was about to close the store when Bluegrass showed up, and then proceeded to violently interrogate the man. So because the lotto place wasn't going to be open for a few hours, they decided to hang at a beach. I saw those lottery billboards on the road. If I won, I would help the animals. And Tallahassee couldn't help herself. She told him about the ticket and everything. Orlando laughed at her and wouldn't believe it. Until Bluegrass appeared and charged them. Tallahassee was like, "Defeat Bluegrass, Orlando, and I will give you riches." Then Bluegrass says, "You aren't the first one to be hustled by Tallahassee, but you will be the last. You're the last life I take. I'll live as Nirvana." The two fought, like, make you look away, fight. Anyway, Orlando ends up knocking Bluegrass down in the surf, and Tallahassee walks up to Orlando, thanks him, and goes into the water. Like underwater in the water, and a minute passes. Bluegrass wakes up and looks around and is like, "Oh no, the ocean." Then something moves in the horizon, and Tallahassee comes out looking regal. Bluegrass could barely move from the fight. When way out in the ocean, it looked like thousands of fish and whales rushing the beach. Bluegrass tried to get out of the surf, but it was too late. Ready for this? Mermaids. Yeah, not. Nice, sweet singing ones. Nope. Carnivorous mermaids crawling out of the water and dragging Bluegrass into the sea. Tallahassee started walking to Orlando, who looked like he saw carnivorous mermaids. And she says, "I've never been able to get him this close to the ocean." And Orlando was like, "You and I have a lot to talk about."